Hey y'all, I think I'm live right now. Hey y'all, welcome to another conversation. Shout out the group chat. I'm just sitting here tonight, solo, dolo, thugging it by myself. Excuse me. Let me send some. 1 second. Let me see. Mm, mm, Subscriptions. I don't even know what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm in here tonight, solo, dolo, thugging it. Um, my hair is adorned by Ashley, my sister-in-law. Shout out to Ashley. She also has her own podcast, so make sure y'all check that out. I'm gonna drop all her links in the description box below so that y'all can check her out. Um, so tonight I just wanted to hop on here because I've been on vacation. So let me give y'all life update. I've been on vacation all week, so I ain't really been on the podcast like that. So I just been, you know, outside doing my big one, like I always do. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to share this on my other channels. Hold on, wait. Share. Copy link. But no, I've been doing my big one. I've been traveling. So, but yeah. But I just wanted to hop on here and check in with y'all, see what y'all up to, see what the tea is. Like I said, my hair is adorned by Ashley, my sister-in-law. And it's giving. Yes. Yes. It's the tea. I'm gonna drop, like I said, I'm gonna drop all her links. And she also has her podcast. Her homegirl got her and her homegirl have a podcast. So they they're doing their big one. I'm gonna drop all the links so that y'all can check them out. Their podcast is named Cultured Conversations, so that you can check them out as well. But I wanted to hop on here and talk about I called Demetria earlier, my dog. Shout out to Demetria, my dog. And I just want to do like a self reflection Friday in terms of what I do throughout my week or my day or whatever, like to kind of keep me in tune with me. I think for me, a big portion of it is I think where I am now. Let me go to my comments. Where I am now as a woman and who I've grown into and how I view myself now, it's like I very much so value being accountable, holding myself accountable. That's one, because I understand that nothing happens to me unless I allow it. That's a huge thing for me. I just I just am different, and when it comes to things like that. So I don't agree with and I can talk about this because I've done it. I don't agree with, doing different things or blaming people for things that have happened to me. I'm just speaking for me. Where I'm at now, like I said, I'm a grown woman. Nobody put a gun to my head and told me to do these things respectfully. So I just feel like I have to make different choices and also understand where I made mistakes in my past um with the choices that I've made. So that's my big thing now. It's like holding myself accountable for things that have happened to me and or happened for me. So that's just what I feel. Demetria told me, she said tonight we're getting personal. So we're getting personal. So but when I'm talking, this is how I talk to myself in the mirror. I don't talk to nobody else ruthless or disrespectful. I hold myself accountable. Like when I'm looking at me in the mirror, this is how I talk to myself in the mirror. So when I talk, it's not, hey, Demetria, yes, accountability. When I talk, I'm not talking at nobody. I'm not being judgmental. I'm not doing none of these things. This is how I talk to myself in the mirror. So, um, like I said again, I hold myself accountable for things that I've experienced, things that I've went through, things that I have done, things that I've chosen. Like Miss Nancy Staten said, life's all about choices, and it is. Life's all about choices. So we have a choice in what we allow in our lives. Respectfully, again, me, I just had to learn from. I didn't want for my life to go in a pattern of, oh, you know, they're doing this to me, they're doing that to me. And I'm just talking for me, because I think a lot of the times we get caught up, and I know I'm saying for me, I got caught up in a narrative like somebody's doing something to me. But where I am now at my age, it's just like I chose to be interacting with these people. And this is what I journal about. If I could bring all my journals that I have, all my journals from back in 2016, 2017, all my journals say the same thing. Like, all my journals talk about how I experienced these things, I chose these things, how I played a part in my own happiness. And I'm not saying people are not fundamentally flawed, because some people are just bad people. They don't have no moral code, no moral ethics, no nothing. But at the end of the day, we have to. Hey girl. At the end of the day, we have to understand that people only do what we allow them to do. And that's what I'm coming to understand. Like, people only do, and that goes for friendships, relationships, boyfriends, aunties, uncles, cousins, brother, sister, whoever. People only do what we allow. Bosses, supervisors, companies, jobs. People only do what's allowed. People can only do what you allow them to do. And when I understood boundaries, like I always talk about this on my podcast, on the podcast, Demetria said, we have to understand that we can only change ourselves and how we react. Yes, absolutely. And I understand, like, now, I think what happens is when we get to a space of where we're ready to progress forward, because I refuse to be a victim. I just refuse to be a victim. Like, nobody didn't do nothing to me. Nobody did anything to me that I didn't allow in my space. Because like they say, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you based off what you tolerate and you allow. And this is just my opinion. Like I said, I'm always constantly working on myself. I'm always working on moving forward and progressing and, doing my big one. But I'm at a space now and at my age and at my life understanding, reading more, understanding more, going through therapy, understanding these things. It's just, I am not in a space to project on people like what I allowed in my life. I made these choices, so I have to live with them. And I'm just saying for me. And like, I work on my self-care, my self-work, like walking, drinking my water, making different food choices. I walk because it makes me feel good, like, getting vitamin D, getting the sun on me, doing things that are going to make me look good for myself. I just choose like wellness, healthiness, I don't think that's the word, but wellness, health, knowledge, just being outside in the elements. I think those help me a lot, because it's not easy to have that motivation to be outside and, moving around, doing your big one for yourself. But I'm working on valuing myself more. So I value myself enough to go for those walks, go do different things, read different books, understand myself more, go do different things, because I don't want to live a small life. I want to live a big life. I want to do big things. I want to move outside of my norm. I want to understand more. I want to grow, and like I said before on a podcast, like continue to move up. I don't want to stay where I am now. I just want to keep progressing and making better choices for myself. So I definitely think like, exercising is a form of self-care for me. Walking, reading books, understanding different things. And also it's funny because now recently I've been reading more about psychology. My minor in college was psychology. So I've been reading different books about psychology and, studying because I've always been interested in people and like their actions and reactions, etc. So I think now where I am now as a woman, I just have been interested in people more, myself more. And so I think it's beneficial for me because it helps me to understand, this is why you do this or this is why you don't do this. And I just think, like I said, I'm so committed to that. And it's funny, I've done this self-care journey. I started it back in 2016, 2017, but I haven't been consistent with it. But now I just value, again, cutting out things that are not beneficial for me. So that's just my opinion. And I caught Demetria before this, so shout out to you, Demetria, because I know you're watching. She said, I learned how to block out other people's problems. Yeah, I think that's a form of self-care too, is learning how to, it's just all about boundaries. It's just always about boundaries, having those boundaries with yourself, having those boundaries with other people, just flat out disclosing what you are and what you are not going to tolerate. I think that's a huge thing. And I don't think you have to apologize for that. I think we are in such a different time now to where people are having to apologize for how they feel or their opinion, but everybody has an opinion. So, I mean, it is what it is. We might not agree, we might disagree, but it is what it is. Journaling. So, for me, I know journaling is a huge thing for me now. At my space where I am in life, journaling is a huge thing for me. I have actually the journal app on my phone and my iPad where I journal. I will verbally, I said before on the podcast, I think I'll verbally talk about things that I'm experiencing because sometimes what I'm going through is hard for me to verbalize it, but I always challenge myself to verbalize what I'm feeling because I just think it's beneficial for me to talk about what I'm feeling as opposed to just ignoring it or not talking about it because it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial, like for me to hold things in. I think a lot of times if I hold stuff in and I don't let it out, it impacts me in different spaces. And I just don't want to deal with that anymore. Like I said, I just want to keep progressing, keep moving forward. And I think a lot of the times, if I hold things in within myself and in my body, it impacts me like physically. Like if I hold stuff in how I'm feeling emotionally, it impacts me physically where I don't feel good. Like the other day, I text my mama and I was like, Mom, I was breaking out in hives. And like I said, I was out on vacation, but I don't know if it's like if I'm stressed out or if I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Demetria said, what are some things that you have learned in order for you to grow? A lot. I learned a lot. I definitely have learned to raise my self-esteem, raise my self-perception, how I view myself as a woman, and how I view myself as a person, what I can bring to a table. Those are huge things for me now, where before they were not. And it's not easy, it's not overnight, but I understand where my weaknesses are. Um, wow, that's a huge one. But also knowing when to walk away from things. And it's not just a relationship, it's not just anything specific, it's just anything. Any type of conversation, a phone call, a text message, anything that's not on your same path or your same level of understanding. I think it's beneficial for me as a woman to remove myself from that situation. And I'm okay with people not being, yeah, anything that no longer serves me. Getting up, like I said, getting up from the table. If it don't serve me no more, I don't want it. I don't want it. And I know, like I said, I'm still learning along the way. I have not mastered everything, and I don't proclaim to be like this self know it all, whatever, but I just believe in moving forward, progressing. I mean, we all got our own paths. We all learn at our own paces. But where I am now, and a lot of it was just for me to sacrifice things that I wanted, sacrifice things that I thought that I needed and that things were beneficial for me. And just tell myself no. Tell myself no. You know, like again, like I said, sacrificing, um, moving forward, getting a better understanding of my self worth and my self awareness and my self perception, how I view myself. Because a lot of the times we don't view ourselves as worthy. We don't view ourselves as worthy for whatever reason. And so where I am now, I'm just working on, viewing myself as worthy, creating a life that I want. Because a lot of the times people are like, um, happy about being happy. You create happy or you find happiness. I'm not happy. I haven't find happiness, but you don't find happiness. In my opinion, you create it. You create happiness wherever you are. It's not like you can go somewhere. You can go to Paris, France, Italy, Greece, Timbuktu, Africa, and you still won't be happy. So it's not about finding happiness. You got to create happiness wherever you are. And it's funny because I bought this thing years ago and it said, grow where you are planted. Grow where you are planted. And I always took it as this opportunity for you to understand yourself better and understand yourself more. And again, learn from those mistakes. Because it's easier said than done. It is. And I get it. I know because I've done it. I could talk about all this stuff, all the things that I talk about. I have prayed for discernment and revelation. It's not always been easy, and I'm sure that as we're all living life, we're all gonna go through things. We're not done living, so we are gonna go through things. But it's just going through life as a person, as an individual, or whatever. It's just going through life. They just said, preach. You definitely create your own happiness. That way no one can take it away from you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And nobody can take it away or nobody can like people can add to whatever you already have within yourself, but nobody could take it. Like if a person decides to leave you or betray you or abandon you, whatever, it's just learning how to deal with those things. Because like I said, it is easier said than done. Man, we all have our own emotions. We deal with things differently. I'm not saying that we're wrong for how we deal with things, but it's just life. Um, Demetria said, talk about, oh, I already talked about it. Oh, when I gotta go on vacation. When I go on vacation, I need it. When I go on vacation, I'm exhausted. I can't handle nothing else. Like this week when I was on paid time off from my job, I needed it. I did not log in. I didn't think about that job. I did not nothing. I think it's just again about balance and understanding what your limits are because it's so easy to get caught up in the everyday schedule routine, things that always are draining you. And for me, I just was like, look, I need a break. I need a break. And I think, as I'm speaking from my experience as a Black woman, I think as a Black people, we have not been taught to say, I'm tired. I need rest right now. I don't feel like it right now. I don't feel well. This is uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable, etc. And so I think we need to work on that, because before this vacation, I was burnt out. Demetrius said some people think vacation is running away, but it's truly regenerating your peace. Yes, absolutely. I agree. And when I get on vacation, sometimes I might just want to go. I might just want to go to sleep. I might just want to move slow, go to sleep, mind my business, and be out the way. Because I want to recharge. I want to recharge and reset, you know? So I don't think that's a bad thing. I really don't. Like I said, I think we have not been taught. We've been conditioned to hustle, work hard, etc. And I think sometimes conditioning is our worst enemy, because again, we haven't been taught to verbalize or vocalize these things, where I don't feel good right now, or I'm tired right now, I'm uncomfortable, I'm sleepy, I want to go to sleep. It's nothing wrong with going to sleep, because as humans we need our rest, homeostasis. We need our balance. We need to be in balance. We need to, feel good. Sleep is an essential. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Talk about when I have to have a break from social media. Wow. From social media, I have a love-hate relationship with social media, because social media is, if I had enough money, I would get somebody else to run my social media for me. I would just do this and then send it to them and let them, upload it or whatever. But I just think social media is, it's so much conditioning on there. Like, people conditioning you to be toxic, people conditioning you to find a man with money, people conditioning you to go on vacation and live perfect and live good and look good, stomach flat, bottom is big, lips look good, face, hair, like everything is conditioning. And so I think, and in my own experience, I had to get off, because I was using social media as a comparison, right? So I'm comparing myself, my personal progress, to people that I don't know how they're really living in real life. And I had one of my friends tell me, Erica, shout out to E. E told me, she was like, we look at social media and we judge our own lives based on people. We don't even know who these people are. But these are facts. Like, when you look in a grand scheme of things, we don't know these people. We don't know how they're living. We don't know what they're doing. And like, when they get off the camera, they could be living under a bridge. And I'm just saying, everybody fall on hard times, but they could be living under a bridge. They could be living out of their cars. They could be living anywhere. So we just take it for face value that these people are living good, but that's not always the case. And then, like I said, it's just, we're conditioned to be toxic in relationships. We're conditioned to be, I just don't like it. Demetria said it's all too grandiose. The internet is all fairy tales. It is. But real life is not fairy tales. Real life is not problem free. Everybody dealing with problems, whether we put it on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or not. Everybody dealing with something on some capacity. And so I just feel like when we separate social media from real life, I think we'll get further along. But as of now, I don't know. I don't know. It's just draining. I think I mentioned it before on here on the podcast. Like, if I'm having a good day and I log in on Facebook and people dealing with something, this, that, and the third, it's draining. It's draining. it's draining. And I get it. Like I said, everybody has their problems. We all do. But it's just like, I didn't want to see that today. Because I mean, like I said, it's all energy. We all dealing with energy, you know? And so, I don't know. I just think, again, work on yourself as individuals, work on yourself. Value yourself enough to know when you're not being valued, when you're not being self preserving, or having that self care, in a space where it's not self serving. I think when you work on yourself, being accountable, being self aware, working on your self perception, your self esteem, those are the main things. Because when you value yourself here, can't nobody play with you down here. Period. And like I said, it was a hard lesson I had to learn. I'm still learning. I'm still working on it. But the more that I learn, I feel like the further along that I get. And a lot of stuff I'm not tolerating, respectfully, even from myself. And I think a lot of it is unconscious. We have our paradigms, we have our self-conscious, our programming, to where we do things we don't even understand why we're doing it. We just do it. And when I start doing, again, I do very deep self-examination and understanding who I am as a woman, because I only have one life. I'm only here for however long God want me to be here for. So while I'm here, I'm gonna understand myself. And so, again, holding myself accountable, being self-aware, understanding who I am as a woman, being accountable. I think accountability for me is key. I might have said it twice, but being accountable is key, because I want to make sure that I'm maximizing who I am. I don't want to be here and just living and going through stuff, going through the same experiences over and over and over again. No, at some point in time, I got to hold myself accountable and say, okay, you were wrong right here. But as long as God gave me another day, I could fix it. I could think about fixing. I could work on it. I could work on me. So I think that's a huge thing. Like I said, I think a lot of this is because my minor in college was psychology. So I'm very interested in human beings and their reactions. But like I said, I just value working on me. And I think that we all should. So, I didn't want to be on here long. I think I did about 30 minutes. Excuse me. I think I did about 30 minutes. So I think this was good. This is a little snippet of a peek inside of who I am. Shalonda Davis, little old me. I don't know why I can't see. But anyway, y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. Stay safe. Always remember who you are. And there's that little transparency. Thank you, Demisha. I love you for inspiring me to hop on here, because I wasn't going to get on here tonight, but I did. Thank you for that. And I love you. And I want y'all to have a good weekend. Be safe. Stay safe. Take care of you. Take care of your close ones, your loved ones, your family, and your friends. And I will see y'all in the next video. I'm going to end this thing. End it.